Hi everyone, my name is Mark Deary and I'm a filmmaker, and today I wanted to talk about what should you do if everything doesn't feel right? Should you just change everything? I talked about this briefly in my last video, and so I actually had it in my notes to do a whole video about this, so I thought it probably doesn't need to be that long. But lately I've been thinking about this episode of Seinfeld, or part of an episode of Seinfeld, where George Costanza, if you haven't seen Seinfeld, you can look this up, but George Costanza decides nothing's working for him. His whole life he's been doing what he's doing and it never worked out. So he's going to do the opposite. He's going to be the opposite of himself. So where he would usually order a tuna sandwich, he's going to order chicken. Where he would usually, say no, if a girl asks him out, he's going to say yes. And he's just going to do everything the opposite. And it all kind of works out for him when he does it. And I always thought, I wonder if you did that in your life. Well, not did that, but did that in some instances. If it would be good. When things are bad and you're constantly complaining, it's the best way to get out of it? Totally change it. Just leave that job you hate. Another job will come up. Stop working on that project that you hate. Why? You work on it until it stops being enjoyable, and then just stop, Maybe try working in a different medium if you want to. I don't know. But it's just funny how lately, because I'm on long service leave from work, and if you don't know about that, just watch any of my other videos. I usually talk about it a lot, but I'll keep this one short. But basically, I'm at a point where I think, okay, what should I change? And should I completely change certain things? So we're toying with the idea of moving town. We moved here temporarily years ago. I work as a teacher, so I worked in film for 11 years, teacher for 10 years. I'm on long service leave from work, and I did a transfer kind of process. So you move to a place and you have to stay there 3 years, and then you can move back where you came from. So I'm up for being able to move back where I want to next year if I want. So I could do that. But I could just leave teaching altogether. I could move to a different town. We could stay in this town. There's so many options. And because I have so many options, I think, well, I could keep doing exactly what I'm doing now, or we could just change everything up. What would that look like? And just being open to that, I think, has really, increased the number of options I have, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad. It's like I'm spoiled for choice, or I kind of, it can be overwhelming because there's so many options. If you would change everything, And don't get me wrong, that can also come with worries, like what if I do this and it doesn't pay out? What if blah, blah, blah? The beautiful thing for me is I can always go back to what I did before if I was to change everything. I haven't decided if I'm going to, but I think like George, it just seems like it could be fun. Like you'd get new stories. It's funny, I saw a job advertised today, and I'm not going to go for it, but it's for a guy on YouTube who he does fishing and a bunch of other things, and he has a lot of YouTube subscribers, and he's going to pay someone to do his videos for him. And I told Candy about it, and she's like, you should do it, that'd be fun. Think of the stories you'd get. And I'm like, I just find that so funny. It's not something I've ever considered. I mean, obviously I worked in video work for 11 years, but this is kind of before being a videographer of one person was a thing. Content wasn't really a thing. When I was working in film, it was content was TV ads. It wasn't social media, and corporate videos maybe for a website. But yeah, it certainly wasn't like it is now, like Instagram and TikTok and social media sort of thing. So this is it. I've never made a vertical video that I've been paid to make. You know what I mean? The idea of doing that is hilarious, but at the same time, changing everything, doing something I would not usually do, to try something new and get new stories. Well, as a storyteller, as someone who likes the idea of telling stories, it is kind of appealing. I'm not going to do it, but it's that, but I have plenty of other plans for things that would be a massive change. So it's is it a good idea to change everything? I don't know. And this is why I wanted to keep today's video short. I'm interested in the comments. What would you do? What would you change? Would you quit your job? Would you, if you're I'm definitely going to change, I'm going to do the opposite, like George, do the opposite. So what would you do the opposite of what you're doing now? And do you think it could work out better or worse? Are you scared to do it? I don't know. I just think taking action, it's not something I think about a lot, but what motivates you to take action? I read a book about that once by Gretchen Rubin called Better Than Before. And it was basically saying what sort of person are you and what makes you take action? Are you intrinsically motivated? I remember the words for them actually. I think it was an upholder was a person who can intrinsically motivate themselves, and they can be extrinsically motivated. And then there was there was rebel, and they can't be motivated by anything. And there was obliger, which is what I am, which is but then there was two types of obliger, because there are ones who can have extrinsic motivation, but usually they're motivated intrinsic, but they're usually motivated by extrinsic things. And anyway, that's me. I'm motivated when people go, can you do this to me? I go, yep, and I'll do it. But to do it myself, it takes a lot more effort. It's much harder to motivate myself to do things. Anyway, her whole book was about what makes you take action, and how can you then take that knowledge into taking more action or better action that you're happier with, And so if you can take action on doing something opposite, what would it be? I'm genuinely interested to hear. I don't know if I'll get 10,000 comments or 0 comments, but I'm interested. And I think, yeah, I don't know, if I was going to do something the opposite. I don't know, we could sell our house, we're homeowners, so we could be renters or like, you know, I don't know, that's one thing. We could, what else? I mean, stop being a teacher. The opposite of being a teacher, I guess, is doing what I'm doing right now. So, or is that the opposite? It's a similar field that I'm not in a classroom. But go back to freelancing, that would be the opposite of being a teacher, because I'd be freelancing again like I used to for 11 years. So even though I've done that, but it is the opposite. I feel like teaching in a responsible 9 to 5 job is very different than freelancing, taking jobs as they come, and you can get a lot more money, but very much more volatile. So maybe that would be the thing if I did change careers, go back to filming. I don't know, I haven't thought about this a lot. I just have been thinking about that episode of Seinfeld and how he does everything the opposite and it works out great for a while. And so I'd just be interested to hear what you think if you were to change something. And yeah, it's just something that's been playing on my mind, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's because I have the luxury of time, and at the end of this leave, the option to go back where I came from, stay here, change careers altogether. I'm thinking about all the options, and just for the first time. I mean, is this where midlife crises begin? People can't make a decision, so they have a midlife crisis. I don't know, I'm 43, so I'm the right age for it. But I don't know, I'm having a great time doing these videos so far, and I'm having a really great break. So that's my alarm that used to go off to say 15 minutes left, so it's 2:45. Okay, so yeah, fun video, and I'll see everyone in the next one. But yeah, I'd love it if you'd comment on this one. And again, we've got, 60 odd videos still to go, so subscribe if you haven't already. I've got a lot more videos to make while I share my process of making a documentary called Confessions of a Failed Filmmaker. So I'm excited about getting to the end of the 100 days and keeping on working on that documentary. And yeah, I'm having a fun time. So I'll see everyone in the next video, and I hope you have a great day, and I'd love to hear your comments. See you guys.